So a big news to talk about today. I usually don't cover classic WoW in general, but we got to talk about these DDoS attacks. Blizzard released an official statement, what they're going to do about it, and how it's affecting everybody around WoW right now, even in retail at this point. So let's get straight into this stuff. First off, Blizzard, a little bit of a W here. Guild name changes will retire from the shop and now cost 200k gold. Okay, well, I mean, people might have to buy WoW tokens to change their guild names still, so I don't know. Blizzard's still going to make money off this thing, I guess. If not, maybe more, because a WoW token costs more than a guild name change does. But hey, as of April 22nd, guild name changes will be sold for 200k gold from the guild master. I guess if everybody chips in, you won't need a WoW token. In any major city, the guild name change service will retire from the shop. So there you go, no longer doing that. Blizzard's buffs and changes to tune classes. I love this little chart here. We talked about these class changes yesterday, but I always love this little broad overview that Wowhead puts together at times here. So looking at the total class changes that are going into effect today on today's reset, we see the classes that are getting buffed here: Frost DK, Boomkins, Feral Druids, Devastation Evokers, Augmentation Evokers, Beast Mastery Hunter. We got Marksmanship, Survival Hunter. I gotta remember all these logos or symbols here. We got Arcane Mage, Frost Mage. What the fuck monk is this? Retribution Paladin, Ass Rogue, Elemental Shaman, and Demonology Warlock. Look at that. I still remember all this shit. All these fucking logos. I just know it by there. Blood DK always nerfed. Blood DK, you know, we deal with shit. But here's the thing, Blizzard can nerf Blood DK and we still survive because we're all Giga Chads at the end of the day. We all play Blood DK, but this is not Blood DK. This is, what's it called? Shadow Priest. Also, the other nerfs were Windwalker Monk. Here we see 3.7%, Fire Mage, and Protection, is this Protection Warrior or Protection Paladin? The shield here, let me see. Prot Paladin? Retribution? No, it's Warrior. Protection Warrior. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So 5%, damn, that's kind of a hard nerf there. The biggest buff here was the 6% to Marksmanship Hunter, as if Hunters needed it, along with Boomkins. So getting nice buffs there. And then healing. For healings, we see your Preservation Evokers, your Holy Paladins, Mistweaver Monk taking a little bit of a nerf here, as is your, what's it called? Augmentation? No, not Augmentation. This is the fucking Priest spec. Damn it, I can't remember this shit. What the fuck is it? Discipline Priest. Yeah, I knew it. Discipline Priest. We got Holy Priest, and then we got a little bit of a Shaman healing here. So across the board, mostly buffs. If you just look at this in general, most people are getting buffed today. A few nerfs, and then healing is getting some rebalancing and retuning here to make some other healing classes more viable than others. That's good to see a little bit of change here or there, and we'll see how all these balance out after everything goes live. A little addition to the notes that we checked out yesterday. Restoration Shaman is the one that got added to the list of changes. All healing is increased by 3%, so that's a nice little buff there for Shamans. And then Sigil of the Algari. If you were using this trinket, it got completely gutted. If you don't know, big trinket changes going into effect. Some of them were hotfixed not too long ago. I believe it was 2 days ago that hotfix went into effect. 20% buff to most damage-dealing trinkets. So if you have trinkets or you're getting trinkets right now, kind of hold on to them and see how they're going to work all this shit out, because a lot of changes to trinkets. Sigil of the Algari was a nice one that healers were using to proc more damage for themselves. That thing got massively degened into the ground. This thing is really no longer viable. So if you were using the Sigil of the Algari, either put it in your bag or just throw it away, because as of right now, this thing is not really usable. And moving on to the big piece of news today. Here it is. The DDoS attacks. So somebody out there is getting off, really, on just DDoSing the shit out of Blizzard servers. And the thing is, it does seem targeted. I don't know, some people think that OnlyFangs is just trying to make it all about them. I don't think so, considering these DDoS attacks, specifically the two biggest waves of them, happened while they were in raid. So interestingly enough, yeah, some people were like, how do you target DDoS attacks? Well, you wait for them to be in raid and then you attack. So that's exactly what happened. We're going to watch the replay, actually, of how the most recent one happened. But in an unprecedented move, Blizzard has decided to return the hardcore classic characters that died during the most recent DDoS attacks. Now, this is only the most recent string of them. Now, there have been DDoS attacks in the past where characters have died and, you know, Blizzard didn't take action on it, decided not to resurrect those people. But this wave, seeming to be more targeted, they've decided to go ahead and give people back their characters. Here's Blizzard's official statement on the matter. Greetings. I was going to say greasings. Greetings. Recently, We have experienced unprecedented disrupted denial of service. Okay, so that's a DDoS attack that impacted many Blizzard game services, including Hardcore Realms, with a singular goal of disrupting players' experiences. As we continue our work to further strengthen the resilience of WoW Realms and our rapid response time, we are taking steps to resurrect player characters that were lost as a result of these attacks. Unlike the many other ways characters can die in hardcore, DDoS attacks are an intentional, malicious effort made by a third-party bad actor. We believe the severity and the results of these DDoS attacks specifically warrant a different response. So they're trying to justify the fact that this is why they're responding to this specific wave and have not responded to others. If we're being honest, they're responding to it because basically OnlyFangs was going to fall apart if they didn't. And we all know OnlyFangs does bring a lot of viewership to the game. And Blizzard's a business after all, and they got to keep the business rolling. So it's in their best interest to bring these characters back. In the future, Blizzard may elect at our sole discretion. So this is not a thing going forward. This is not every time something like this happens, we're going to see resurrections. But this is for at their sole discretion to revive hardcore characters that perish in mass events which we deem inconsistent with the integrity of the game, such as DDoS attacks. Our broader stance on character restoration or death appeals has not changed. To be clear, we do not intend to revive characters which have died due to server disconnects, lag spikes, gameplay bugs, or any other reasons. Blizzard customer support cannot assist with these issues related to characters who have died on Hardcore Realms. Thank you, as always, for your feedback. So there you go. This is, what the fuck is this? OnlyFangs? I really think this is some kind of perverted Moonguard thing. I mean, it's clearly a play at OnlyFans, yes. I agree with Blizzard's decisions. Still think that OnlyFangs is a stupid drama farm. It is a stupid drama farm, but it does create a lot of viewership for the game, that's for sure. Overall, do I think, as I said, Blizzard did this because of OnlyFangs? Yeah, probably. If I'm being honest, I think that they made this move because, yes, OnlyFangs was officially going to fall apart. If you look at the statements here released after this whole thing happened, Sodapoppin basically released a statement saying that they're going to fall apart, that OnlyFangs is done, and there's no way they're going to continue after this. They talked about how GG's, you know, they're not going to be able to continue raiding. Everyone can go to different guilds if they want, and OnlyFangs is officially done. That was an official statement from the OnlyFangs leader, Sodapoppin. So just real quick, looking at how these DDoS attacks work and how Blizzard was aware of them, we can see here in the replay, and I'll start playing this thing for you guys right here. Basically, these DDoS attacks started once the boss fight happened. And by the way, this is not the first time this happened. This is the second time that they've tried to raid, and the DDoS attack started as soon as they started raiding in the middle of a boss fight. So this seemingly was targeting them. But if you watch the character list, when Zaryu goes back in here, they essentially saw a ton of players offline all at once. Yeah, you can see the panic in the man's face. So he was trying to reconnect. And watch when he gets back in here in a second.
I think we're just DC'd, yeah.
Yeah, he's logging back in.
Yeah.
I'm logging back in.
This was super intense. If you watch this live, I mean, there's full-blown panic in the...
We're in.
So look right now, I mean, more than half their guild is now offline. So this DDoS attack specifically targeting them mid-boss fight. The boss was at 46% when the shit hit peak.
No.
Sam Affix?
Mary's about to die.
I'm shielding.
Mary's dead. Everyone.
So if you watch him, he tries to run around the corner. He smartly puts a target dummy down.
I can't move.
Runs around the corner and tries to hearth out.
DC'd again.
Yeah, I'm on a loading screen, guys. If you get in, try and save your character, I guess.
And you can watch, like, he's casting hearth, but hearth isn't actually casting. There's like a delay, right? So you got to click the hearth button. There's a delay before it actually goes off. Then you got to get the cast off, and there's a delay before the cast actually happens when a DDoS attack is happening. So you got like a triple delay here.
There we go. Maybe don't log in, right? 50 seconds? 55 seconds?
Imagine a player doing something smart.
Maybe.
Well, I am scuffed Zaryu after all. It's just hashtag on my stream. So he's got the Hearthstone cast is now going off. You can see it there at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, he's at like...
And then he never gets it off.
Basically everyone PC'd and then mine went on to...
Some of the players actually survived this, but you'll see here.
Well, that's a terrible way to go out.
Zaryu's gonna get back in right now, and he's dead. Yeah.
I'm trying to walk in.
Yep, same, Rakula.
Yeah,
I'm in
it's painful, man.
I don't even know if I want
I mean, I feel for these guys. I'm not a hardcore player, but I feel
Especially
for
since I
him.
got back in.
Devastation.
I'm not out.
I mean, look at his initial reaction when he first sees his character in ghost form. Look at this.
That was two and everything.
Look at this man's
was
devastation.
fucked up.
Ouch. I mean, that's a lot of hours, guys.
Trying to walk in.
You gotta understand, he's been working to get best in slot items, all this shit, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Same, Aquila.
It's gone.
I'm in the Blackwing load screen.
Yeah, that hurts.
I want to log in.
That hurts. So clearly these things were, it's seemingly that these were targeting them. The DDoS attacks went down. Most of the guild did end up dying. Sodapop himself actually ended up surviving. But a lot of people did die, and at the end of the day, the guild was going to fall apart. So Blizzard did respond. I do agree with their response. I think if you give anybody the power, because clearly this person's getting off on doing this, you give anybody the power to basically end guilds and shit like that, it's going to continue to happen. So they're fixing it. Hopefully they figure out a way to stop these things from happening. DDoS attacks are not a Warcraft-specific thing. Deaky, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. This is not a Warcraft problem or a Blizzard problem. This is a games industry problem. Any online game can be subject to DDoS attacks like this. It happens. But we'll see how often they actually go forward with this, actually revive characters, and if they create a way to kind of minimize the effects of DDoS attacks. But that is all in terms of news.